Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in, focusing in on the personality traits of the covert narcissist and how they can be extremely self-centered or really at the center of their own world. Yet you really don't pick up on this when you identify or really are close with the covert narcissist because of their very gentle ways, very docile, very quiet, very unassuming, very non-confrontational. So they really just seem to be very positive in the beginning. So you're very unsuspecting that they could be a self-centered egomaniac type of person who's cruising around in a Lamborghini and, flashing their cash and, essentially womanizing, or throwing their curves around trying to manipulate men with their physicality. So you really would not jump to conclusions or see that there could be really somebody who is very selfish underneath that sort of exterior. So it would really be the last person who you would expect to be selfish or self-centered or really at the center of their own universe. They seem extremely just easygoing, non-confrontational, so you wouldn't really expect that. So that's part of the issue. So that's what perpetuates the denial cycle for so long, is because really you don't you just based on your natural experience with people or your natural way of understanding how people are, you wouldn't think that they would be very self-centered. In fact, you'd think that they have a lack of identity or a lack of personality and need a lot of help, need a lot of guidance, need you to be very decisive for them, need a lot of input from you. So that's really your kind of original reaction, is that, you're very supportive of them and very helpful, and there's so much to do to take care of them. I mean, it's just like a fixer-upper's dream. There's so many ways you can help them, so many ways you can direct them, so many ways you can be supportive and guide and direct the relationship. So that's how you originally get locked in or hooked in with a covert narcissist. There seems to be such this huge role for you to play, and it can be very rewarding in the beginning, but what you don't realize is that this person actually is quite selfish and is quite self-centered and really is at the center of their own universe. And because of this, they have you really sort of focusing on them, keeping them at the center of attention, not really questioning them, not really doubting them, not really assuming any sort of ill will or self-centeredness, it tends to perpetuate this sort of supply behavior or supportive behavior and attitude towards them. So you tend to kind of feel sorry for them, and you kind of feel like they're kind of meek or weak, or they're kind of so socially inept that it brings out the caregiver side of you. So you tend to direct a lot of your behaviors, attention, and really life role and even life purpose towards being there for them, being supportive, being guiding, trying to stick up for them, trying to be their champion, trying to be their savior, trying to intervene with them and really take care of them in a role that really it shouldn't be your role to be participating in. It shouldn't be your place oftentimes to have to be responsible for them in so many ways. So that's really how that covert narcissist begins to abuse, is because you essentially need to surpass and really deny your own needs for the sake of them. So that's where we start. If you can begin to understand that this person, this covert narcissist, who originally you thought was this very lovable, endearing, sort of earnest person, really has some very selfish side and very selfish tactics to obtaining a lot of support and subservient roles that they've created for you that, unbeknownst to you, you had embraced and participated in. But then really with time, you're able to see that there's something that you did not receive or you did not have reflected back to you in terms of really what you deserved. And that is attention, direction, and the acknowledgement and mirroring of you on level playing ground after all. And so when you really see it, especially through time, the covert narcissist really is at the center of their own world. They will generally bypass and not give, not direct, not provide, not converse with people in the way that they really should participate in a healthy give and take sort of relationship. And not that they have to be the center of attention, but really you realize when you stop providing, when you stop ingratiating them, when you stop the supply behavior, in essence, you realize that there's a very sort of self-centered history and experience to them all the while. And what's even more hurtful, though, is when they have a sort of pre-calculated attitude that they don't really share with you. So their viewpoints and opinions of others, which they haven't shared, often are quite condemning, often are quite opinionated, where they are really more self-important and they don't acknowledge others because they feel that they're so much above others. It's a very sort of twisted mentality, but it's almost they don't engage because they feel that others are beneath them. So in other words, it's ignoring and they don't engage with others because they feel that they are so selfish that they're just going to pursue to fill their own well, so to speak, rather than having a healthy, transparent relationship where people are acknowledged and validated and all those things that we've been discussing here on this channel. In fact, they can be quite reticent or withdrawing of support when you really need it. So, if this is the case with you and you realize that this, this person who you've really given so much of your time, attention, and love to and sacrificed so much of your own needs for them, unbeknownst to you, I would just, really try to understand, first acknowledge and gain awareness of this type of personality disorder and that they are the way that they are. They're not going to change. This is their chemistry. This is their makeup. This is their, this is how they get by in life, and essentially that's how they've created their world. So really, there's nothing you can do to change it. You just have to really let them go, and let them go in love and light, which means, they're entitled to their own life, but you're entitled not to perpetuate the abuse. In other words, you're entitled to not be obligated to perpetuate their excessive self-interest. So you really need to be able to take care of yourself, declare your boundaries, and declare, it's really important for me to take care of myself now. I've given so much of my time, energy, and focus and attention to this person. I did the best that I could, and now it's time to take care of me, no matter where I'm at in life. Now it's time to redirect and take a detour out of, that path that was leading me to really self-neglect or self-negation. And it's time for me to now live in my own right, in my own personality, even if they don't acknowledge it, even if they don't admire, even if they don't give me the attention that I need and the place that I need and give me, the floor, so to speak, because they're a covert narcissist. I'm going to let them go, and I'm going to pursue my own self and develop those other circle of friends and interests, which are individuation and identification with those who do mirror and reflect and remind you of who you are, and really work on some of the higher goals you have and dreams for your life, and not just taking care of the narcissist. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.